Parents Lounge live podcast, Parental Mental Health Tuesday. Oh, did you unmute my mic? Probably helped.
I did, yeah.
I wasn't going to do the show, actually, and our guest was going to co-host, and he's going to end up co-hosting a bunch. I have to leave at some point, but Eddie Pence is here, Claire Kramer's here, Jason
Mulligan is dropping in at some point, but who knows?
Jobo, you are the beautiful one. Cheryl, how are you guys? Hey, I am numb. I wasn't even going to come in at all. I just, when you're driving down the car and they're like behind you, just like fighting, pinching. Cheryl, thank you. I'm glad I'm here too. Honestly, it makes me feel better already. I was like, I almost hit the brakes and like skidded over like Rockford Files, and then just started reaching in the back of like, I'll kill you. I'll kill the two of you. You're killing me. Yeah. So that just happened.
So that's how your day's going, huh?
Came home from soccer. Yeah. Picked them up, went to soccer. Took them to Pizza Rev. Hannah hated it. Whatever one likes, the other one won't like. So
is that still going on?
Maybe only having one child is the right way to go. Squirt guns.
Look, I tried to have just one child, and the egg split in two.
Yeah, but you had another one there.
He was a bonus Jonas, though. He came with the package.
The bonus Jonas.
Yeah.
All right, listen, everybody, go get a drink, whatever. Let's do this thing. We got what are we talking about tonight? We got all kinds of great.
Well, I'm going to talk about the twins starting their little preschool thing.
I mean, it's almost summer. We'll talk about Memorial Day weekend. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birthday parties.
You did marathon it this weekend. You were like in the middle of the third.
We didn't make 2 of them, and one was a really good friend of mine. I was just like, we'll talk about it. Let's bring everybody in, and then we'll start having fun. Listen, go grab a drink. Do us a favor. A lot of you guys share this, which is amazing to me. Definitely share it if you think there's parents out there who need it. YouTube, definitely subscribe. Facebook, for the love of God, go and like it and follow it. All right, it's really important. I know.
Retweet it on Twitter.
Yeah, we always check the analytics after, and it's like, wow, a ton of people watched. Nobody, but I do the same thing. Like I watch all kinds of. I can't tell you the last person I went and followed and liked, but the numbers help. So, Eddie will explain all that to you. He's a master of that.
He's our new social media analytics.
Well, actually, Claire's the master of it all. Maybe she can explain.
Legitimately, yeah.
This is literally just a live show that I do every week where I don't know who the hell knows what's happening. But all right, listen, welcome to the Parents Lounge. Grab a drink, whatever you need to get through this thing, a gummy, whatever you need to not put your fist through a Restoration Hardware lamp. Let's do that. Until then, you'll have 90 seconds while we sing a little song about parenting. So, hit it! We could have homes on separate coals, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the Parents Lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the Parents Lounge is the cure to staying sane.
Hello!
Welcome, everybody. Claire Kramer's here. She's always here. And
We
our
missed you, buddy.
from the Ralph Garman, the Ralph Report, and just one of my fave comics around. And from the Parents Lounge live show.
Right?
So funny stories about your son's anus. Eddie Pence.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm sorry I'm here.
Thanks for having me.
Are you kidding? Now after that show, you're always.
You're in the fold now.
Can I tell you, Eddie, that beard is so on point.
Thanks.
It's got a little Dan Haggerty going. It's pretty good.
Thanks. I don't want to go too much on the sides because it makes you. I don't want like a full looking face. I have it so I have a jawline because when you get to a certain age, you lose your jawline. So it's just to give me a jawline at this point.
I grew it to hide chins 4 through 7, and it seems to work okay.
Yeah, it's more of a covering technique more than anything. It's just.
And Claire, your beard is really coming in.
I was going to say, Eddie, it's very Carl Urbanish, like from The Boys. I like it.
Oh.
It's like, it's resonating with me, very current.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Love it.
And I'm sure Claire is someone else's beard. Clara, have you ever been someone's beard?
No.
That's not true.
I think now that you mention it, it's on my bucket list. So
tell the truth. There was nobody in your life where you were like, God, this guy's so fantastic. Why aren't we dating?
Like, I'm a beard.
Time we both love rosé and brunch.
Well, I did
Why
have.
aren't we clicking?
My whole life, I've had gay boyfriends, and those are the boys that are your best friends, and they're boys, and you do everything except that one thing with them. So they go on family vacations, they hang out, you do all your, wardrobe excursions, your beauty things, your spa, but you just don't do that final step, and that's what makes it a gay boyfriend and not a boyfriend.
I got to tell you, I think there's a lot of moms out there who if they had a choice, that would be the direction they go. Yeah, I want everything else.
I mean,
and not that step.
Yeah. Why not?
To go like, yeah, it was great.
Gay boyfriends,
no pressure. He's not bringing you home, and you're like, oh, no. Jesus. So how do pressure. I have a headache? You don't have to do that with him. You can just
no pressure. And speaking of gay boyfriends, I saw the new Top Gun this weekend, and
I did too.
Phenomenal.
Everybody's saying it's amazing. Is it really that amazing?
If you like Top Gun, it's just a reimagination of the same movie.
The first Top Gun was a fun movie, but it's not a great film.
I disagree. I think,
but I've heard this is a great film.
1988, like cinematically, you got to remember how far 88 is from 2022. You know what I mean? Like, I rewatched it the night before because I took all my kids. So I made we did a rewatch the night before because they'd all seen it before. But we did a rewatch. And then we went to the theater the next day and we did a watch, obviously, there. And I mean, I got to say, back to back, you got to watch them back to back. The 88 one is a great movie. It's a phenomenal movie.
Is it? Because like you watch it and you're like, I enjoy this movie, but it's not. But people are talking about this sequel like it's high cinema.
It is. It is actually.
Well, there.
The mission, first of all, the trailers are kind of, we're seeing the movie just to begin with. The trailers they play before are great. Jamie, I don't know.
Jamie, please tell them about your experience with the movie.
I loved it.
Did you take Hannah and Claire?
No, I went.
Okay.
No, I went when they were at school. I'd like drop them off and then went over. First of all, I went in the Navy the year after Top Gun came out. Top Gun came out, and I was planning to fly.
I'm Maverick. I am Maverick.
I was already in college. I was a junior in college, and the next year I was a senior, and I was in ROTC, and I knew I had to serve in the Navy, and I was going to be a pilot. I was going to try to be a pilot, but the year Top Gun came out, everybody tried to be a pilot. So one of my eyes was 2025 at the time. And they and so they said I could have been Rio. They were like, "Well, you can be Goose," and I go, "I don't want to fight be Goose." So I became a ship driver, and so I went in. But I still was in San Diego the year after Top Gun came. We would go to Miramar. We'd go because I was an officer. We'd go to the Officers Club and stuff. So Top Gun has a very special place in my heart. It was a good. You'd wear your uniform anywhere. Like you'd wear it. Oh, I'm in the grocery store. Oh, I'm in my dress whites. What's happening? Oh, I'm sorry. Like it was pretty great. Going like, yeah, we
I
were
feel
in
like-
Australia. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Stewardesses in Hong Kong. Yeah, it was they were good
Well,
times.
that's one thing they did kind of eliminate from the 2022, the remake was that like overt sexism and like,
Well,
that was gone.
88's a long way away from
where
2022.
he walks in, Tom Cruise walks into the bar in the 88 version and he's like, I consider this like a, like a meat factory or whatever he says, and that's all. They really did a lot to equalize. I mean, they had one woman pilot, okay? One.
She and in the first one, he tries to have sex with her on the counter in the girls' bathroom. Yeah, it's pretty.
Right. So,
by the way, Kelly McGillis batting for the other team. So the whole thing was a little messy.
But you know what? She had a great comeback because they didn't even approach her, and she was like, and I love Kelly McGillis. I loved her in the movie.
She's great in that one.
She left the business a long time ago. She's obvious, and she said, she was very forthcoming. She said, listen, I've let go of myself. I'm not camera ready. God bless. Move on. So I thought that was like a cool response. Yeah.
It was good. It's really similar. There are some. I don't want to wreck anything for anybody. I loved it. It was super fun. But I did go to this crazy theater. So there's a 4DX. Anybody who's watching, have you?
Oh, I've been to the 4DX.
So I understand. I read what it was. It goes, the chair moves. I go, all right. So I thought the chair moves. It's on a giant gimbal system.
Did you get the odors too? They hit you with smells and spray. They spritz you with stuff.
It snowed in the theater. There's a spot where they're up in the theater. The smell thing, yeah, John, yeah. And so it snowed, but it was like being on a ride at Universal for 2 hours. It's
jarring. It's annoying.
I saw the last Jurassic World like that.
Yeah. He opens the door to the bar, and you're like, well, I don't know if I would move this much. As he opens the door,
you're drunk, maybe you stumble into the bar.
Like this, and you're like, what the hell's happening, dude? I was telling Jason, I go, dude, I started to get a little nervous.
That is not for me. Let me tell you, I go to the movies to relax. I want suspension of disbelief. I want, like all those things. That's not for me. That ride, what is it at Disney where you go, the very old school, like Star Wars ride where you go in and you're like, in the road.
Star Tours.
Star
Tours.
Like the last time I did that, which was maybe 3 years ago, I like completely shut my eyes the whole time. Because if you shut your eyes and you don't have the visual, you're just like moving in the chair. It's no big deal. So I know for me, 4-day, no, not good.
It also was great for the movie theaters. But here's what I'll tell you. So when I was younger, I never got seasick. I never got airsick. I flew in a jet. Like we did training one time. I went down to Beeville, Texas, and they put us in like a T-38 or whatever the trainer is. You have the stick, fully acrobatic, doing all kinds of crazy shit. We stayed up all night the night before. I was like 21, did not throw up, like monster. And I'm going to tell you this. Like the first time I got COVID, I was like, what's happening? I started to have vertigo. Has anyone else felt that? And this was before they knew it was COVID. I had it early on. We were traveling. And
Is that a symptom of COVID, vertigo? I didn't know that was a symptom.
I don't know. But I went to a doctor and at that time, people didn't know it was COVID, but I'd never had it my whole life. And then all of a sudden he was like, no, it's just as you get older and your synapses start to lapse. But I had like vertigo a little bit.
You burn out. They're not replenishing. They're not like replenishing. You're done.
Jamie and I did Oculus together not that long ago, and we were in there like 15 to 20 minutes, and all of a sudden I see Jamie's avatar start backing off, and he drove off a cliff, and then I get a text message, we'll be back later, and then I was like, uh-oh, so I left and I called him, and he's like, I have motion sick. Listen, I'm not okay.
It felt horrible. Rest of the day, like a pounding headache of like, it was so crazy because I never got car sick or anything like that. And all of a sudden I was like, I was with him in the metaverse, and I wanted to see what it was like to walk off the edge. And so I was like, well, let's see what happens. So I just walked off the edge.
But he didn't tell me he was going to do it. So it looked like Jamie just committed suicide.
And I did it a couple of times. And then all of a sudden I'm with him and I can feel sweat pouring down my face under the Oculus. And I'm going, when you're about to throw up and you're like, I think I'm gonna throw up, dude. And the sweat's going, and you're
With
like,
the warning. Yeah.
Well, the
You had the
worst part
warning.
was within 5 seconds of Jamie and I being in there, like apparently we had the dad beacon on because this kid who sounded like Short Round from Indiana Jones was on us like what and rice, and he's like, "Are you guys here? Do you want to play with my boomerang?" And he's like, got this actual boomerang, and like he's like, and when Jamie went off the cliff, he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, your friend killed himself."
by the way, I just sent that kid $15,000. He's in Nigeria, I believe. He's.
Oh.
I'm putting him up this summer. He's coming to stay with us for a couple weeks. Shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, your friend killed himself. And I was like, yep, yes, he did.
Eddie, have you gone in that in the metaverse?
I have not been in
Have
the
you ever
metaverse
used the
yet.
Oculus?
The closest thing I have is on our PS5. We have the virtual
PSVR?
reality thing on the PS5, but that's the close. And I can barely stand that. I can't even do roller coasters anymore.
Really?
Ooh.
I did that one where
They make me sick. I can't do them anymore.
And the floor falls away. And
Oh no!
Oh,
I did that
At
with
the
my daughter
festival?
last summer in the beach, and I was destroyed for the rest of the day. I
Yeah.
got off, and I was like, my wife was like, "How was it?" I go, "It's not good."
No, you know what? I honestly, and I said this with the Disney ride, but I've used this at festival rides or, amusement parks. Roller coasters don't bother me, but if I'm in a circular type situation or the boat swing situation, I start to feel nauseous, shut your eyes. That's all you have to do because your body's fine. It's the visual combined with the physical,
All right, next time. What's funny,
We
because
have a-
on the ship, you're supposed to look at the horizon. They tell you to go on deck and look at the horizon.
Yeah, but if you're in the metaverse, you can't.
That's right.
I'm deep in the Jurassic World game in the Oculus, and like legitimately, my wife will watch me scream in terror when I'm being hunted by dinosaurs.
Well, Eddie, there's a big Star Wars game in there, isn't there?
Yes, Kate Mulligan is currently playing that.
Yeah, I want to play that thing.
She said there was never, as a Star Wars fan, anything more satisfying in her life than killing somebody with a lightsaber.
Ooh. Okay.
Eddie just got a little hard.
I heard it hit the desk.
I'm a little hard right now.
Eddie, what'd you guys do for the weekend?
We actually went to Star Wars Celebration down there in Anaheim on Saturday.
Sounds horrible.
And then I took my kid for his birthday. His birthday was early May. For his birthday, I bought him tickets to Disneyland Star Wars night on Friday night. And so that's when they shut the park down, except for these people that buy tickets just for Star Wars. So from like 6 to 1 a.m., it's just lightsabers and costumes everywhere. And like literally, it was the first time I was at a park and my kid's running around with his lightsaber, hitting everything. And I'm like, I got to sit down. You just have to go. I need to sit down for like 5 minutes. Like I've never been that guy. I was literally my dad 30 years ago at an amusement park. Just like, you guys go, I'll be here. You know where I'm at.
I'm good.
Come back this way in 5 minutes.
I'm by the big clock on Main Street. Just fine.
I had to sit. I couldn't move anymore. My feet were hurting. My back was hurting. I was just like, just go. Just you go.
And then you drove back home at 1 a.m?
We didn't get home because the park, they close it at 1. So you don't get to your car till like 1:30, 1:45.
Oh, no.
Then we didn't get home, hour drive home. We don't get back till 3 a.m. Star Wars Celebration starts at 10 a.m. in Anaheim. So we got home, slept 5 hours. I had to wake the kid back up and drive back down to Anaheim at 8 in the morning just so we go back to Celebration and then walk around again until 7 p.m. So just literally I did 30,000 steps.
It's like
in
you did the
48
Iron
hours.
Man of amusement
I did.
park. Yeah.
Just brutal.
Like,
and he's just going. He's just going because he's 13. He's just going. And I'm just like, I have to stop. I have to go sit down. Let's go to IHOP for like an hour.
They should have a dad stroller. It's like a recliner on wheels, and the kid has to push you. It's kind of payback.
Or just make it like an Iditarod, and you just hook onto the kid, and you're just being pulled around because they got the energy to pull you.
That's not a bad idea. That's not.
And that way they go where they want.
Animatronics in that park now. They've got to be able to invent something for people that can help them get around.
I miss the old Sky Chalet thing that would just take you across the park and then drop. You go across
that's like a
and
classic.
stop.
Back
For a
in
reason.
Florida, they brought that back.
They did because they don't have it in Disneyland anymore.
We went the week that I was out there. Mulligan and I went to Disney, and she and I thought midday it would be a good idea to just go get trashed at the Avengers bar, and I almost did not make it home because I mean, we just every drink we tried one of, and some 7. It was not a pretty picture because I mean, you guys all know Kate well enough to know she also is a little antagonistic. So if you start to lag in drinking, she starts talking shit.
Oh,
And so I drank way more than I probably should have.
Are you still at an age where if someone goes, "Come on, you pussy, drink this," you'll go, "Yeah, you're right. I better drink it."
you're right. I don't want to be a
Most of
pussy.
the time, no, but there's
Apparently.
something about Kate's her cadence and tone. It's just really patronizing, and if it were anybody else, no. But Kate Mulligan was able to get me to. She peer pressured me.
I remember that at the comedy clubs, Eddie, right? Where it's like at the bar after a show. People back in the early days, people go, "Come on, have a shot with me," and you're like, "Yeah,
dude."
I guess so. Whatever.
Well, I don't even drink, and I
Ow.
would get people order me shots when you're on stage, and as a comic, you have to tell people,
Don't waste
you have to tell the bartender, don't send me alcohol, just make it like pour Coke into a shot glass or whatever it is, whatever color it is,
Yeah.
whatever soda that color is, send that to the stage.
Keep the money. Send me the watered
Right.
down soda. Yeah, that's fine.
And I did that one time. I usually did that, and there was one time in El Paso, I'm on stage, and I forgot to tell the bartender ahead of time, do not send me alcohol on stage. I don't drink. And at the time, I was loaded on antidepressants. So they send me the shot up on stage, right? And I'm literally sitting there, and everyone's like, it's the most, I'm not big on peer pressure. People don't really get me with peer pressure, but when the entire audience is like chanting for you to drink this shot, and you're on stage as the comedian of the night, and you have to drink that shot. And so I did a shot of tequila that I never drank before. And then I'm on antidepressants, so it's like 3 times. It's like doing 3 shots of tequila. And then like I do it, and I go into my closer, and then I start slurring. I'm like, this is what has happened. And like literally, I literally don't remember getting off stage, and then I start remembering things when I'm in the green room laying down. Like, what happened?
One shot.
What happened? One shot. I slurred my way through my closer and then woke up in the green room. One shot.
It's the Eminem song. If you only got one shot, mom's spaghetti.
Right. But I never made that mistake again.
You know, they opened a Mom's Spaghetti restaurant in Detroit. Eminem did.
I saw that.
And everybody who eats there throws up. Apparently, I think.
Apparently.
Yeah, back in the day, they go, yeah, whatever. And then finally, I did the same. I was like, listen, I'm telling everyone, don't buy me shots. You're wasting your money. I won't drink it. Whatever. And people still go, I know what you said. Listen, I know what you said, but come on, you do what? And so you would take it and you go, all right, here we go. 1, 2, boop, over the shoulder. Right in the lumberyard. Yeah. Claire, how was your crazy weekend? I mean, honestly, Eddie, I don't know if that sounds like punishment to me. Like
it was brutal. I mean, I love Star Wars and I like Disneyland, but it was so much. It was so much.
I'm also at the age old where I don't want to be out past 10. I really don't. Like if it's even like creeping up to 10, I'm already thinking about, okay, I'm going to get home. I need to relax. I can't just go straight to bed. I have to watch a little TV. I've got to like then I've got to move from the couch to the bed. I got to take off my makeup, brush my teeth. That's like a whole hour. So 10 o'clock is like 11 o'clock. 11:30, and that's freaking late for me. I don't like that anymore. I'm way old. My best friend had her birthday, Julie Benz, and her party was, Jamie, the night of the festival. So I went to the party, and the Saturday night of the festival, right? But it's her 50th birthday, so there's no way I could miss it. Like, best friend in the world. So I went from like 6 to 7:30 and then went to the festival. She's like, the party went till 2. I looked on the Instagram. I'm looking at the pictures everybody chose to post at like 12, 1, 2, 2:30. I'm like, these are all wrong decisions. Like, I got out at the right time. It was good. I'm just not a late person.
Isn't that a Lou Holtz quote, Eddie? Notre Dame, he's always like, he goes, nothing good ever happens after midnight.
I mean,
But I will
and
tell you,
Lou Holtz knows from experience.
as a former bartender, once in a blue moon, some really good things happen after midnight.
Yeah.
Right.
Not at my age. Forget the clock. I don't go out if I don't have to. Even if I did, gas is $6. So it's got to be close and also cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about old man Nixon over
Old
there.
man Nixon, yeah, he didn't.
And another thing about gas. And why is Joe Namath trying to sell me a reverse mortgage? Who the f- is Joe Namath to sell me a reverse mortgage?
Eddie, you must be like me with my oldest two are 14 and 12, so right on either side of your child. And I feel like I'm a complete Uber service now. Like all I do is like drive people, drop them off, pick them up, pick their friends up, drive them.
You're a personal assistant at this point. That's all you are.
I'm treated very rudely. You know, I'm
You
not
need to
even
start
like
giving them bad ratings in the app, Claire.
I'm not tipped. I'm really
No.
my things are stolen while they're in my car, you know. So
Rarely thanked.
I get physically assaulted. Sometimes she has meltdowns. They have a fight in the backseat, and she starts kicking my chair.
Oh yeah,
Jamie, your children assaulted me.
Yeah, you had. No,
I did, but
said some things.
But just meeting me, it was pretty vicious.
Yeah.
Which one, Hannah or Claire?
Both.
They're horrible. They're horrible. Not actually.
Oh. No, they're not horrible. They're sweet.
Actually,
I really like Hannah.
They were super funny. Right out of the gate, Hannah started calling me toothbrush with a sticky bottom. That was my name. Like
it was. But by the way, very creative. Very creative.
Very. Because I wouldn't think of looking at you.
Book. Actually, I won't do it tonight because I have to leave in a couple minutes. But I'm going to bring. Claire wrote. It's called Joke Book, and you open it, and they're jokes she thinks of.
She's quick.
I forget some. I don't want to blow it. I'll read them later. But she's like first grade and she's writing. They're punny. They're very punny. I can tell you.
Okay, so Sky, my second grader, wrote a joke and I wrote a joke. And did I tell you guys the jokes yet?
No. It has to do with the girl, right?
No.
Because I want to find out how
that was Heart. Heart was
that was Heart. Okay.
Jokes. Yes, I think I did actually, but maybe we have a new audience. So let me give it a round two. So I'm just going to tell both the jokes and you guys can tell which one you think I wrote and which one you think my 8-year-old wrote. Okay. Here's the first joke. How does one crayon say hi to another crayon?
I don't know.
Yellow.
Okay, what's the other one?
Now, the other one is why didn't the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Because it was chicken.
Here's the saddest thing. You wrote one of them. That's.
But I'm not a comedian. But so I thought it was a good start for me.
Claire, you don't have to. After what you just did, you don't have to say that. It's important. Everybody knows what's happening.
I'm going to guess that the crayon was you.
And I'm going to say the crayon was Claire as well.
Yeah.
The crayon was me.
You wrote both of them?
No,
that would have been. It's a trick question. I wrote them both.
They're on my new album.
She said that. You would have gone, now you're a comic. But of course, the comic gives you the
comedy is hard. That's what I want to tell you guys. Like a lot of respect for what you guys do.
Comedy's hard.
It's not easy.
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want Claire to just do 10 minutes of that material, just straight jokes like that.
I'm trying to help. Hey, by the way, my joke went over well with the crowd. My crowd.
But what wasn't one of the jokes supposed to be for somebody he liked?
Well, but that's Heart. So Heart's the next one up.
Right.
And we didn't find a good joke for him.
For that. Okay.
Right. We were Googling and that's when I made up my joke and Sky had made up his joke the other day. So yeah, we're working on it,
I mean,
that's my gang and I.
You might want to workshop it just a little more. Just a little bit.
No, it's polished. It's solid.
No.
You just need a birthday party to
ready
be
to
invited
record.
To we're the entertainment. We can go.
You okay, Kaylor?
Yeah, I'm fine. What? Yeah,
My joke just killed.
play around. Just drive around. Just drive around. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Where are you going, Jamie? Where do you have to go?
I wanted to give a little shout out. My buddy Pete DiStefano is he makes sports shows. So he's having a little premiere screening for his show called NBA 75 Game Changers. And ESPN, yeah, it's honestly, Claire, you're like, no. But Eddie and Jason will probably be like, yeah. It's a show I would have watched anyway, because how many premieres have we been to where it's like, yeah, I'll come to that. And you're like, oof. So Game Changers, Tuesday, ESPN, it started at 7, but he's recording it. And it's about, it's the life story of like the greatest basketball players, I think, in history. So I have to actually leave in a minute or two. Actually, I should just exit now and let Eddie take over.
Well, Jamie, I will ask you this. You saw Top Gun, so you saw the Adam Sandler premiere that LeBron James co-produced and with him about the new Adam Sandler LeBron James basketball movie, right? Did you see that?
That trailer wasn't there. No, I didn't see that one.
It's so good. It looks really good.
Is it a serious movie or a comedy or what is it?
It's a serious movie. It's like a Moneyball type movie, I would say.
Yeah, he's a scout or something.
Yeah. Like he's been a scout for many years, and like he finally finds this one guy, and then the people don't want to pay for him. He's like, this is the guy, this is him. So I don't know. It's like maybe, Moneyball meets Blindside. I don't know.
Yeah. I will tell you, I think everyone's still a little banged up from Memorial Day. I can't be the only one who's just destroyed. It was like, hey, happy holidays. And you're like, yeah, my holiday starts 8 a.m. Tuesday when I drop those kids back. Everyone's like, how was your weekend? It was draining, physically and emotionally draining.
You had 6 birthday parties you went to? That's what you said?
We
6?
We went to 4. 2 were at Pump It Up, which was always pretty easy.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah. We
got a bloody nose last time we went, so we don't go back.
Oh, my God. Kids with broken ankles. I mean, it's like a bounce house.
It's Thunderdome for children.
Honestly, Tina Turner was there, and she was screaming. And what's the guy? He goes,
Bartertown? Master Blaster?
Master Blaster. Thank you. That's so good, Eddie. Yeah, Master. That's really funny, Dave. You should do a bit about that.
It's brutal, man. No birthday party ends there without some sort of injury.
No. Oh God, no! This rolled ankles. They also have like burns all over their body. From sliding down on the plastic.
Well, because it's all some sort of canvas blow up house.
Unbelievable, dude. And there was another place you could flip and land into this pretty not as soft mat as you might imagine.
Right.
So the other kids just kept jumping. We're like, no, wait till you wait. You gotta
then they have and when you go into the final room, because there's different stages of Thunderdome you go through it, Pump It Up. When you go into the final one, they take the lights down.
Yeah.
And everything's like glowy. Yeah. And then they go into this, there's like this bounce house that's all netted. It almost looks like a UFC octagon. And then you get in there and the kids have sticks that are padded and they just start wailing on each other. And then they start fighting for the stick. And there's like 16 kids in this little netted bounce house and there's 2 sticks and they're all and you're just, as a parent, you're just in there like, no, we can't. You have to get one of these kids is going to be dead. You're going to find a dead kid at the bottom of the pile.
So it goes straight Hunger Games at some point.
It's brutal.
All right, listen. This obviously the show is in good hands with you guys, Eddie. By the way,
brutal.
Do that as a bit on stage sometime soon. I will be upset with you. All right, listen. I got to roll, but I love you guys. Next week, here's my request to everybody out there. We got Claire. We finally got her an iPad that wasn't like 9 years old and could only download one thing at a time. And then we had to delete that to download the other thing. Poor 1-year-old. She was like cracking it. So we got her new iPad. And I went through and I put like time checks on everything, time limits, and deleted stuff because it was under my account. And then, of course, an hour later, I went to go into my own computer and my computer was like, your time limit's up. I couldn't across everything. And I was like, mother, God, the whole weekend I was like, so then I had to go back into hers and go back to the time limits and get rid of them all. So there's no time limit on these things. And there's I really need to figure out, and I think we can do maybe one whole show about this. Maybe we can find an expert, if anyone out there knows anybody. I need someone to sit down and explain to me how to stop my daughter and the internet from merging horribly. Does that make
It's
sense?
inevitable.
You need to get the app Life 360.
This is
yes.
the whole next week's show is going to be about this crap because I am in dire straits. I already am like, oh, Jesus Christ, what's happening? She'll come to me. She's like, look what I'm watching.
Faces of death.
Whenever this is how my wife and I parent. When I see her doing something that I don't like, I go, hey, you need to stop doing that. And when my wife sees that, she goes, hey, are you going to let her do that? That's how we parent. So I gotta figure out the answer. So Eddie, thank you so much for coming in, and hopefully Molly can pop in. Claire, see you guys. All right, I love y'all. Talk soon.
Bye, Jamie. Have fun.
Bye, Jamie.
He timed it so he could do the kiss as he exited.
Oh, that's sweet.
Aww. I can't believe he didn't see the preview. It was such a good preview.
So it's Adam Sandler. He's Adam Sandler is the scout, and it's a
He's
drama?
the scout. He's the scout.
Is LeBron in it?
Down and out scout. I don't know. I think so, but he's one of the executive producers. So it just looks really good. Looks really good. So I think it's like an Oscar bid for Adam Sandler.
He's tried that before.
Didn't he get slighted once before? And he said he was going to make the worst movie ever made if he didn't get it. Wasn't that a thing?
I think he succeeded several times.
I know Jim Carrey's been slighted. I mean, that's he's definitely gone dark a couple times.
Well, he did the Majestic. That was like his big, I'm trying to get an Oscar with the Majestic. And everybody's like, no, you're trying too hard to get an Oscar, so we're not going to give it to you.
No, more prosthetics, less acting, you know.
And he deserved one for Man on the Moon, but then he got a Golden Globe for that, for Best Comedy, and it wasn't a comedy.
Mm-hmm. No, not at all. I mean, Andy Kaufman was
a comedian, but
yes, but it wasn't a comedy.
Yeah.
I think the one who's done the best change is not Seth Rogen, but from Moneyball, who played opposite Brad Pitt in Moneyball.
Oh yeah,
part of that gang. Jonah
Hill.
Jonah Hill,
who he went full on so freaking funny. What is that movie about the end of the world, the day the world is ending? That is where people.
Oh, it was all those guys.
Yeah, it was all that group, that young, young funny group
where they didn't have a script. They just sort of said whatever they wanted for 2 hours.
We're just gonna make shit up, and it was absolutely hilarious. But then he has been able to pull the trigger on the more serious roles.
Yeah,
this is the end.
Way. This is the end. Thank you, Sean.
I can't even tell you the last Adam Sandler movie I watched. It's been a while.
Where did I check out? I think that 9/11 movie is where I checked out.
Which one is that? I don't even.
When he tried it, when he was his wife or something died in 9/11, and he was like a recluse because of 9/11. I forgot what it was called, and that was the last time I was like, I can't watch anymore. And then I watched the one where that was the last serious Adam Sandler movie I watched. And the last comedy of his I watched was the remote control one, where he had the remote control and the remote, whatever that was called, with Kate Beckinsale.
Yes.
Oh.
And then after those two, I was like, I'm done with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I gotta tap out.
Yeah.
I checked out after Mr. Deeds, and then I saw Grown Ups, but then nothing else. I have.
And Grown Ups hurt because I grew up watching all those guys on SNL, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and I saw it, I'm like, this is not good at all.
I like Kevin James. I have been compared to him some, especially with the way that I move and speak, I guess. I guess
do your Kevin James.
We're both a lot. No, I mean, I'm just
You're setting yourself up for
right
it.
now. Go.
No,
you're Kevin James.
Click was the one with the remote.
Yeah.
Click. Ugh. So
what is your favorite?
This is Hart. Say hi.
Hey, Hart.
Hey, Hart. How's soccer going?
Oh, here. Hold on.
Hi.
Hi. How's soccer going?
What?
How's your soccer going?
Good.
Are you kicking butt?
Yeah, I guess.
That's
okay.
He paints a picture. That's for sure.
He paints a picture. Hart, do you want to show your abs?
Oh, please.
Come
Let's make it
here.
awkward.
Come on, buddy.
I would, but if I pull up my shirt, my stretch marks look like a road map of upstate New York.
I'll get him to show.
I have stretch marks in the shape of abs. Does that count?
Well, you're ahead of me.
So the twins started Head Start this week, and they went off to school for the first time.
Oh.
And the
How
dark.
long are they gone for?
They're 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yep. The Dark Lord grabbed his backpack, turned, gave us his shit-eating grin, and then never looked back again. And Logan, we literally had to pull off of my wife. He did not want to go. And my wife is sobbing. And I'm like, okay, we're going to have to do the separation. And then I'm going to get mom to the car. He's going to go. And the teacher sent us texts of like pictures of him later that he had survived the first hour. My wife was unconsolable till we picked them up.
Wow. So your wife, she's more attached than the kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, she's attached to one of the kids. The Dark Lord. It's a nice reprieve from his bullshit.
Okay, first of all, 3 hours is kind of like the tease of like daycare or school, I feel like, because you don't have enough time to even do anything. But we'll get to that.
You get back home and then you got to turn around and leave.
Yeah, you're like,
Okay, let me
now
just tell you,
I can
even
shower.
10 minutes of that child not destroying is good enough for me. I'll take 10 minutes.
So I was looking at the picture, the intro, Jason, where it says like twin A, twin B on their caps, right?
Yes.
Today, just this occurred to me. Do you think that when at some point before they started showing their full personalities, or at some point, do you think you ever switched them before, like, you got your system down of like who's who?
No, because I wrote on them with Sharpie right out of the womb. So they always from like from the time that they were like handed to us with the little hats, I wrote on them directly. And so
is that what you're supposed to do when you have twins? You write on them? Like
well,
as soon as they come out, you write on them?
Fingernail, but we didn't have any polish at the hospital, so I was like, well, I have this Sharpie, I'll just write on them.
Big permanent marker. That's cool.
You could have like circumcised one of them.
Oh,
That would have
that's
been
a good
like,
idea too. Yeah.
Like that way you're meeting both like party needs of, the progressive and the
here's
old
the thing,
school.
like when we did their blood test came back and they are 99.95% the same blood wise. So if Dark Lord commits a crime of a pretty serious nature, and he will, the Logan is going to get blamed for. He's going to frame him. I'm also 100% sure that there's going to be some sort of kindergarten switch, like a grade school switch. They're going to parent trap us. I know that.
So he's literally going to frame his brother to get out of whatever mess he's put himself into.
He does it
would
now.
do that.
Yeah, like Claire, remember at Christmas time they knocked over our Christmas tree trying to get candy canes off of the top.
Well, you can't blame him. Don't put them up that high.
And even though the video clearly showed they both had done it, I said, who did this? And Anthony the Dark Lord immediately is pointing to the other kid. He did this. He also blamed me because I said, who did this? And he said, Dada. I'm like, I know for sure I didn't do this. I was not. I'm the one who's incriminated. Like,
well, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Worth a shot. You could have been drunk.
He knew at 2.5 to frame somebody else.
Right.
And that's not getting any better.
Deflecting the blame.
Yeah, there's a darkness in him that I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know who we talked to. We tried an exorcism. It didn't seem to take. So I might have to go into into the mountains to some like Tibetan monastery and like leave him there for 8 years and then come back and see if they fix it.
Are you and your wife part of any like twin groups, like twin, like, Facebook groups or like, messaging? Like what, tell me about that. That's fascinating.
So, I mean, there's always like the stereotypical, like they'll tell you there's always an evil twin, but I think
Is that true? Is there always one who's bad? They're never like both good or both bad. There's always one bad.
We've never heard of that. There's always one who's prone to mischief. There's a real yin and yang situation going on there, except ours, there's just varying degrees of bad. There's no saving them, and I know that, and I've accepted it. Eddie, I've got about 3 months ish before physically I won't be able to take them in a 2-on-1 situation, and then then I'm done. I'm done, and I wish my wife and whoever comes after.
Can you develop some sort of mech for yourself that you can wear around the house to defend yourself, like a Hulkbuster armor?
Well, I mean, I've built foam armor, and that will like chops to the neck. But I mean,
just the vulnerable areas, the eyes, the neck.
They're gonna learn what a shiv is, and then I'm done.
You need to lock your door from the inside.
Other people, sure. Kate Mulligan, everybody.
I mean, I'm here to say that I'm not coming. Is that weird?
So kind of you.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, I'm here, but also I'm not. You guys, I'm leaving for 2 months tomorw.
Why? Where are you going? What are you doing?
My dad's ill, so we're going back to spend the summer by them. But can you imagine what my disposition's been all day?
Let's see the bed. Let's see what's going on back there. It's a packing bed. It's a staging area.
You can't even see it's a packing floor.
It looks like an as seen on TV store exploded on your bed.
Yeah, it's an Amazon Fire that's charging. You know, you have to download all the things. We have a stopover in Vegas, very kid friendly.
Yeah,
that's good.
Nice.
Not so much to do.
Yeah. So we're gonna just take turns watching them while the other of us goes and gambles. The great news is we just had COVID for 2 weeks. So
and how was that for you? I mean, I know, but tell everybody who doesn't know.
Claire, when you had COVID, Eddie, did you ever have it yet?
I don't think I've ever had it.
Okay, so you're a co-virgin still. Congrats! How dare you?
Thank you.
Claire, it was bad.
Oh, I got my kids, no symptoms, nothing. They were totally fine.
Well, not the unvaxxed baby, but yeah.
Well, my kids, I was lucky; they were all vaxxed.
Yes,
because actually Sky had just gotten vaxxed a few weeks, maybe a month before, you know what I mean? Because he was 8 at the time, 7 turning 8. I was sick as a dog. Like I was super sick, like totally sick. And then when I got my booster, because I had not had my booster when I got COVID, and I got my booster like the second I was like 14 days out, I got the booster because I was like, I'm never getting that again. The booster put me down for 24 hours.
See, that's and I'm not even trying to hear that right now, Claire.
Honestly,
I just need to know that I've paid the time after 2 years of dodging this thing.
Oh, I was convinced I had like the blood type that wasn't going to get COVID. Like I was like, oh, I'm totally good. I have a superpower.
I'm immune to it.
Yeah. And like the next day, boom, river tested. And then I was like, oh shit, and we ended up having Christmas over Zoom because like 2 of us had it. The other
that's right.
didn't.
Santa
wrote a letter, was like, sorry, I'm going to skip over your house tonight.
I don't want to get that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get infected.
He's old. It'll kill him.
He's a diabetic, honey.
I was like,
he's overweight and old.
Discriminatory against elderly and heavy stuff. So he has double. He was double Yahtzee.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He's already a double bypass guy.
How are you feeling now? Are you better?
I'll tell you what. It was. I just caught that really good. I'm sorry we did not let that breathe the way we should have. I have to say it was really bad for a bunch of days in a row. And I'll tell you what, actually one of the things I have to go do before the pharmacy closes, Sudafed with meth. Big fan. The kind that you have to like show an ID for. Big fan. Big fan.
The other one's not really Sudafed.
No, the other one, I'm like, why do you even call it that? There was a day that I wanted to remove my eyeballs to see if it would help with the head pressure. Just to see if I just
headache is
made
like
space
the
in my head.
worst. Yeah.
I laid down to sleep and I was like, I'm in too much pain to sleep. Mm-hmm. It was awful. But that being said, we're also so lucky because now we're negative. We can fly and see my dad who's sick. So
I felt like super happy actually that I had that we had gotten it when we did, which was over Christmas, because everybody went down in like January, February. But I was
Yes.
like, we're good, we're immune. I was
Yep.
I was doing all the shopping for everybody,
Yep.
my mom, my sister, all my
Oh, yeah.
friends. I was like, the one being sent out into the stores.
Yeah. Listen,
Hold on.
you
Let me just
volunteers
hear-
tribute.
Jamie Kaler left his computer. His thing's just still sitting in there in the green room. It's
How
just-
funny also if we can just hear him, he's just playing like Wii golf or something. Do
Right,
you know
he's
what I
like,
mean?
I got a
He just
premiere to
missed
go
the
to.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just was like, I can't be there, guys. I got so much to do. And it's just him in the background doing Wii
I
golf.
invite you, not Kate, it'll never happen because it would involve you being early, but
Mhm.
come before 15 minutes before the show starts and you want to see Jamie Kaler in the wild at his rawest, most pure form, it is the reason I started showing up at 9:25.
I was gonna say, why do you think I show up late? I'm not trying.
And I've talked to
I'm
other
not
people
trying to
that have
raw
done
dog.
it
I'm not
better
trying
than
to. I am not
you.
trying to
You are
raw
late
dog
for
Kaler.
everything that you do.
Mm-mm.
Jobo, is this correct?
Oh
She's
yeah,
big-
am I late to everything I do? Yeah. Listen, my name should have been girly. Then I would have been early, but my name was Kate, and it rhymes with late, honey. Okay, so that's how it worked out.
Is that how that
Everybody
works?
knows whatever your name rhymes with is what you are. Eddie is
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Thank you. He loves spaghetti.
My favorite food. Yes.
When he was a teenager, he was very petty. Okay.
And bedwetter. Bedwetty.
Wetty.
Oh.
Thank you. Claire,
was a
she's
bedwetter.
fair. She's fair and she's fair.
I'm a bear.
Jason, I'm erasing the fact that I know you. Okay. So, I don't know. I tried. I had nothing.
That was
for
a
Jason.
stretch. That was a
It was a stretch. It was a stretch. It was a stretch.
I was waiting. I was like, she needed time.
You did,
That's why
though.
I was last.
There she is. Jason, you are Mason, everybody, with your wit. Just
just
how's it? Is
blinding
it working?
people
Did it
with the
work?
wit.
Wit, yeah. Just Mason.
Oh, Jobo, actually.
Is it
I'm-
Mason? I just said was Mason, but I meant it like.
There's
Oh,
a
okay.
fire pit out back of my house that'll tell you that I am not. That it'll show you with pretty distinct, definitive that I am not. So you're doing better. How Neil
everything's
didn't
better.
get it. Neil didn't get it as bad as everybody else, right?
Neil, just like Claire's kids, was vaxxed and was fine. He said like a couple days he had a headache, and I will tell you he napped every day. And he's 7. A 7-year-old doesn't take a nap anymore, but he was tired. But no, we were really lucky. It came home from preschool. And
Okay.
my poor son's class so I didn't know that the little unvaxxed kids could be asymptomatic.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of like these people had their kids at school and didn't realize that they had it.
those
so-
are the little super spreaders.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. And my kid was still masked, but I think, they still ate snack and lunch unmasked.
But I mean,
You
if
can only
you
do
watch
so much with the mask.
Yeah.
and they like shoot them like slingshots into the air.
Yeah.
Like Jace brought one home. There was, I mean,
It wasn't his.
cupcake smeared into here. What was this? And he's like, oh, I kept it on and I ate, and I was like, okay, no.
You made
No.
a feed bag for himself.
Yeah, basically you had a feedback.
Eddie, you have a teenager, right?
13, just brand new teenager.
Brand
13.
new to
Yeah.
teen. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he hasn't gotten it that you know of.
No, right when everything started in like March of 2020 or
Yeah,
February
yeah.
2020, he had a fever for like 7 days, and we could not get it below 103. And every other time he's ever had a fever, we give him some Tylenol and it goes away.
And it's done.
This was
Yes.
this was the one time we couldn't get rid of the fever. So we think he may have had it at that
Yeah.
point. But
that was the
it.
baby. That was my 4-year-old had
Yeah, we just
had
could
a
not
fever.
get it down.
It would not, and his wasn't as high, but it was like 102, and it was like
Yeah.
I was Tylenol, Advil, and
Yeah.
it was
The
like
piggyback, yeah.
it was just staying
we
at like
could, yeah.
100. Yeah,
So we were never confirmed because this is before
No.
they started like
I know.
confirming people with it. So
Yeah.
we think he may have had it, but we don't know.
Oh,
That's when you
man.
were watching the map. You were like, "It's coming over from it's
See,
now."
It was still it was still on that
New York, and now
cruise
it's
boat in the Atlantic
Midwest.
that we wouldn't let into the country. That's where we
cruise
thought
boat.
it was.
Oh my god, I forgot about the cruise boat.
Yeah, those people are
Oh
still
my God.
floating out there somewhere.
I remember
Cruising
thinking like,
around.
oh, those people in Italy. Ugh. Ugh, those Italians and South Koreans. Well, that was not going to be a problem here because we'll
Shut up, you.
cooperate.
You're off your COVID high horse now, aren't you?
Oh my God.
You admit it. You secretly thought I gave it to you, didn't you?
No, you keep saying that. I really did not. I felt like you were so safe to come stay with me because you had it in December.
That's true.
Did you get it right around after our live show? Was that when it was sort of?
Well, it's funny. I was worried that I could have given it to James. So our live show was on Thursday. He tested positive on Tuesday. So it could have been, except for he was the first to test positive. I didn't test positive until Friday. So he brought it into the house.
Yeah.
And not me. Thank you very much. But it was a week that Jason and I went to Disneyland, and like Jason, I was like, would you mind masking in the line for me? And like, so we were like, when we would go inside, like we would be masked. And so I was like, oh, I'm sure I got it either at the show, or, I mean, you guys know I put a microphone cover on. I mean, I was so like,
you did use a microphone. You did.
So I was going to feel
I
terrible.
will do this, that our situation. So, Kate, explain what happened in Haunted Mansion with us.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what was. Okay, so So first of all, love people in wheelchairs. Gonna just start this off by saying,
Okay, this is gonna go bad.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I let her tell it, Eddie. That's why
I'm not racist, but
I'm not racist, but one time, no. So love it. Think it's great. The problem is Haunted Mansion's the problem, because if you have to stop to let people on, you have to stop the whole ride, right? You have to stop. It's so everybody, like, because it's basically like a bracelet.
It's a continuous ride. Yeah.
It's a continuous ride. So there's not like stopping and then like, oh, what? No, the whole thing stops. So for whatever reason, we were all in the elevator and we get out of the elevator to get into line, and we are packed like sardines side by side, and no one's moving. And we're just standing. And it's because they had stopped the ride. I think they were letting we then saw like 7 or 8 wheelchairs lined up.
It was like a
but then nobody was getting on. So then they let out.
Do they just collect the wheelchair people for a while so they don't have to stop at once?
I don't know.
It did appear that way.
Is that what they do? Just gather them for a little while?
I've never had this experience. I was like really having a panic. And
I'm going to say, where I'm from right now, these people, other than the hospital, forgot masks 2 years ago. So there, it's just so even for me, I was like in that situation. And I'm like, I have to hold it together because I can see Kate is not okay. And
it's like you're in a haunted hallway too. It's like it's dark, there's lightning, and then another elevator comes out, so you just feel.
And I didn't help the situation because I was also telling her all like the legends, like the Disney history, and I'm like, you know how often that they dump ashes in here?
He's like, they dump ashes. There's a code. They'll say if somebody dumps ashes, and I'm like, fine.
Just what code is that, Jason?
I think it's code. It's code H or code U. But it means that they have to stop the ride for sanitation purposes because somebody
people do that all the time.
Dump the ashes inside there.
Eddie's like,
I also told her about
all the time.
Gotten seriously.
That's where I want to be dumped.
Where
actually dump me on Tom Sawyer Island. That's where I want. Dump me on Tom Sawyer Island because no one goes there.
It's my husband's favorite part of the whole thing. He hates Disneyland so much. He's like, gotta love that Mark Twain's.
Because you can go there and be alone.
Yeah, gotta love that steamboat.
But there is one bonus to the island over there is that they have paintbrushes hidden on the island that you can turn in for free passes if you find them, and they hide a certain amount every day.
What? Also, if you think you're going to the dessert show at 9, you're not. You're going to the dessert show at 10. You
also,
just have to be in line
because the raft's not coming by.
You can't take Kate to a show that you hope that she won't yell out things she doesn't like about the show very loudly during the show.
Don't bring me to Magic Castle. Magic Castle, I'm like, I can see the string.
It's in his shoe. I saw it. It's in his shoe.
So we got tickets to the World of Color dessert party, and we are watching it. And at some point, somebody who designed that ride during the show thought, you know what would be really helpful and cheery here? Let's put Mufasa's death in this show. And Kate, rather than just, let it go, did I cringe? Sure. Kate was yelling out loud. Also, she was cheering for justice for Johnny Depp at several points throughout the show.
Yeah! By the way, they leave the part in with Simba doing this to his dead father's carcass.
They did leave it on there. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird choice. It's a weird flex.
And like
That is weird.
it was, and I was like, oh no, did they did not leave Mufasa's. I can see the string. It was, yeah. Okay, so this is funny. Not Saul is here in my house.
Oh,
like
God.
legally, or he just found his way in.
It's my buddy who always watches the show. Is here. He's staying with us, and actually, he's going to be staying in our house. So like
He's a
taking care of-
caretaker.
He's the gardener, as you would say, Jason. No, he's our buddy. He's going to stay here. Thank God, so that we don't have to worry about anything. He's going to like send mail to us and take care of our tortoise. And you know, I said to him, I was like, listen, my number one thing when I go away from this amount of time. Well, let me ask, what's everybody's thing? What's the thing that you're scared to come home to if nobody's in your house for 2 months?
A dead possum under the floorboards.
Thank you.
That
Yes.
smells up everything.
I accept that answer wholeheartedly. Yes, Eddie?
And then I just forgot to take the milk out of the fridge and throw
Also,
it away.
See, we're talking smells. We're talking infestations. Yep. Okay, Jason.
I'm actually afraid Jobo's in my house right now. For me, it's like a pest infestation.
Yes. That's. I was like, Saul, if you see ants, you need to be on them, because I came home once. I used to teach at Northwestern every summer, so I'd be gone for 5 weeks. I came back to my apartment, and there was a plant
parade.
A parade. A plant had grown through the tiles in my kitchen. And there were ants abounding. And I was like, well, can't do it. Hi, Brandon.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, life finds a way. It's true. When there's nobody there to pluck that weed. Brandon, I'm so glad. That's Brandon's a fan of the show and loves animation. Wish animation is for everybody. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Glad you saw that. Okay,
Well,
anyway, that's what I had to say. Was
Perfect.
infestation, dead possum, all of it. Yeah, milk. Yeah. Everybody needs a Saul.
I think on that note, we can wrap for this week. Does anybody have any parting words of wisdom?
Don't dump your ashes in the haunted mansion.
Or leave seeds around your house when you go out of town.
Okay. Well, okay. Okay.
Don't show the string.
He's not. It's not what happened though. It's not what happened. I didn't leave seeds.
Was it an apple tree?
I lived in a woman's garage.
Oh.
Now the
This story's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I lived in a woman's garage at Hancock Park when she had turned the garage into a studio, but she did not get it permitted and she did not pour foundation under the under the garage. Yeah.
So it was just the yard growing.
It was just the yard.
Naturally.
And had I been
You
there,
you had to prune your kitchen floor on a weekly basis.
it turns
in
out
order to live.
I no longer live there. Also, this is the same place where I lived, where I at some point went into my freezer and I was like, God, I thought vodka. And actually, my landlord had come in. My landlord was a friend of mine, but my landlord had come in and she was talking to me. She's like, "You have vodka?" And I was like, "Oh, I do actually in my freezer." And I was like, "I thought when you put vodka in the freezer, it's not supposed to evaporate." There was no vodka left, and she's like, "Oh, I've been drinking it."
Thanks for keeping it cold.
Great.
She'd been letting herself into my place to drink my vodka when I wasn't there.
You could have pulled the plant up out of the floor while you were here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Thanks for the gardening.
Yeah. Hey, how about them ants? Hey, you own a house in Hancock Park. How about you buy your own vodka?
So wait, Kate, are you going to be doing the show from a remote
Yes.
location?
You
Okay,
will
good.
see me. You will see
Then
me.
I
with
don't
my
have
parents.
to say goodbye.
No,
There's
no
sad.
goodbyes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll be back. I'll
She's
be
like
back
a
here in
bad
August.
penny. She's not going anywhere.
I don't think that's the expression.
It is. That's how it goes.
I think I always turn up if I'm a bad penny.
Right.
She's a bad penny. She's here and there and every. No, Jason, that's not the expression. She's like
No,
a bad penny. She loves roller coaster. What?
I think here in Scranton, that's what it is.
A bad penny always turns up.
Anyway, on that note, Eddie, thanks so much for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
fun.
thanks for letting me crash, guys.
Kate, you work here.
Work implies paycheck.
Soon.
I show up here, right, Claire? I'm sure.
That, you know what, girl? I am with you. I feel you because packing is not my favorite thing to do.
Oh, the kids also just
I
wouldn't
always
stop
try
talking.
to pack on the day when like the helper is here, so I can be like, "Here's what I'd like you to pack," and then I can come check it out, or I can lay it all out and be like, "Put it all in." But girl, packing for 4 is not fun. So I'm with you. You need me? Call me. I will give you moral support tonight over the phone. Yes,
so much.
I'm here.
We'll be back next week. Celia Behar will be back hanging with us
Like
next
a bad penny.
Like a bad penny. Celia Behar's back.
She'll be back next week, like a bad penny.
Like a bad penny, yeah. Tune in next week, like a bad penny. What is happening? Jason,
You done? You done?
No.
No, this could go on forever.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. We will see you next week where our guest will be whatever Jamie announces tomorrow.
Woohoo!
Good night, everybody.
Guys.